So the 5 Valentine questions for planet people.
We are planet people.
We are planet people. We are planet people. One thing you learned about the Earth in lockdown. So recently, thing we learned about the planet in lockdown is recently we had a huge amount of rain in the middle of the summer, which is very unusual, and it was 123 millimeters. 123 millimeters of rain in one night and a day.
Yeah.
And we had massive landslides in the town here that took away houses, closed roads, took away bridges. It was huge. So through that, we learned an awful lot. But one of the big things we learned was how vulnerable we are and how fragile it is.
Yeah.
Basically.
And how a little virus can make all of us being in a lockdown for like more than a year.
Yeah, it can kind of change the whole world very quickly.
Yeah.
The one thing that we've observed in nature during lockdown.
It's like how freedom the like wildlife.
Yeah.
Found, right? Like all of the pumas were coming down.
True.
Like we weren't like using all the space all the time.
That's
as
it.
Human.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more wildlife roaming freely, which is fantastic because they can kind of not overwhelmed by human presence, basically. Number 3, what one thing you're involved in that's positive for the planet? So.
Well, we're involved in the fight of a dam here in the Maipo River in Chile. There is a dam that will affect all the ecosystem and all the Cajón del Maipo. They wanted to use the water to create energy for minery, and it will affect, of course, all the wildlife and the nature, and it will affect the supply of water in Santiago, which is the big city in Chile. So we are involved into that and always trying to fight them with lawyers and everything that is needed.
Through an organisation called No Alto Maipo.
Yes.
Follow them on Instagram. And they are basically a huge community that's kind of fighting against this, drilling a massive pipe through the Andes that's going to drain a lot of the water in the area and will lose a lot of the ecosystems.
See, and the Maipo, it's already like super dry. You can see how the trees are dying.
Yeah, and there's one over there. 4 over there.
Yeah, super sad.
One thing you've enjoyed about the Earth in lockdown?
About the Earth in the lockdown. Well, we actually got to be more connected with it.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed going into places that nobody could go in the moments of the lockdown, and really, really appreciate to be able to be there.
Yeah.
Like in the mountains, in the hot springs, sleeping wherever we wanted to sleep.
Yeah, we were quite lucky that we were able to sort of walk out of the house and keep going and be away from a lot of people and a lot of civilization, which is quite lucky. So that was definitely one of the things we enjoyed during lockdown, and we're quite lucky enough to be able to do that. What are your top tips for being planet positive?
I think just starting with healthy habits, like with the food, personal habits, with the food, with exercise, and of course if you do that, connecting with nature, like if the food that you eat is more natural and less processed, it's better. And if you connect, like just going for a walk in nature, or being, even if you live in the city, you can be more connected with nature.
Yeah,
And
I think
important for me.
Yeah, definitely. I think my top tip for being planet positive is to learn about your environment, even if it's something boring like a bramble bush. You can do a bit of research and find a really interesting fact about that bramble bush. Or you're lucky enough to have a great big oak tree in your garden. I think learning about the environment is super key point. Also, if you do go to some incredibly beautiful places and you're lucky enough to go there and then not many people know about them or not many people can go there, I personally don't tell everyone on social media and things like that where the location is and how to get there, because that is going to increase a huge footprint. So I tend to keep them quiet and let people discover them and explore them for themselves. And that can also kind of protect them as well a little bit. But if you're stuck in the city in lockdown, then as Sara was saying, you can learn about the food you eat, the natural food and where it comes from and how it's grown, and countries it's from and things like that. It's a really good way.